Hello, everybody. Welcome to my hobby. For this episode, we're talking about Daredevil issue number 5. I like this cover. This is a pretty dope cover. I mean, it's just Daredevil sitting, and like there's a little blood on the floor. He's all beat up, but it's cool. It fits the last one. I've realized. So I'm not much of an art guy. There are artists I know: McFarlane, Bagley, Eric Larson, Frank Cho, J. Scott Campbell, etc., etc. Like, I know some artists, but like I don't follow artists. I don't go, oh, this is made by this artist, I'm going to buy this. I follow writers. If you haven't been able to tell right now, one of the writers I'm following is Zdarsky. But what I've noticed about covers, so I go to this comic book shop, I got a pull list, and after a while they just kept giving me variant covers. And it eventually got to a point where I was like, hey, wait a minute, I need to stop getting variant covers. Some variant covers are good to get if you like the artist, but Marvel puts out so many variant covers, it's like, and their variant covers don't make sense. I'm going to make a video one day about how their variant covers make no sense. So eventually I said, no, I don't want any more variant covers unless I specify. Just give me the A cover. And the reason I did that was so that I could have, covers by the same artist in a row. Like I'm getting Catwoman right now. And I could have every issue of Catwoman with, Jolene Jones' covers. But I don't. I've got a bunch of variants strewn about. And that kind of bothers me a little bit. But, anyway, I like this cover. That's how that thread of dialogue occurred. So in Daredevil's back. I don't know where he was, because I wasn't reading Charles Soule's Daredevil. I wasn't interested. But in the beginning, Daredevil's back, and he's trying to get back into the groove of things. He ends up accidentally killing somebody, and the whole city goes apeshit. He deals with the Punisher. He almost gets arrested. He thinks Fisk framed him, but that's not the case. And in this issue, he's starting to come to terms with the fact that he's accidentally killed somebody. This has never happened before. He's always been very careful, even though Daredevil is incredibly violent, and it's often believed that he really enjoys being violent. He's never killed anyone. And in this, he's coming to terms with it. So we pick up from the last, oh look, a useless page that is completely unnecessary. So now we pick up where we left off. The Owl is planning something, and Daredevil's going to go and stop him. He just left the Punisher's place where he got the information. And it's amazing how really simple this is. If you think in sequences, there's the fight scene, there's a scene in Danny Rand's apartment, and then there's a scene in Daredevil's apartment. It's just 3 little sequences. A beginning, middle, and end, if you will. But anyways, he goes to stop. This is great art, too. I like the way all this looks. But he's got a Punisher shirt on because he needed a shirt. He just grabbed it. But it's good action. They draw the action very well. I love it. He takes out this armored guy by hooking him to a van, and then uses a gun to take out the van by shooting out the tires. And it's pretty good. But since Daredevil's all beat up, he doesn't do well in a fight that ensues, and he ends up getting rescued by the Defenders, and he thinks that they're going to take him to jail, which is not the case. They go back to Danny Rand's apartment. I'm going to skip a few pages. They go back to Danny Rand's apartment, and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and Danny Rand are all like, yeah, we've all accidentally killed somebody. It happens. You just got to kind of live with yourself. And this is distressing to Daredevil. It seems like Zdarsky's just kind of hitting all the points of Daredevil. Like, he's got Fisk in there. It's all street crime, no major supervillains. Then he does the Punisher. The Punisher's in there. And then he does, like, Daredevil's other friends. Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones. The Defenders, But what I really liked about this, what I thought was really cool, was that you get Daredevil and his perspective on Spider-Man. So Daredevil and Spider-Man have, of course, obviously been in comic books together before. The main, there are two comic book storylines, three actually, in which I know Spider-Man and Daredevil were together. There was one storyline in Spectacular Spider-Man, I want to say. It's the first time that Frank Miller has drawn Daredevil, and it's an issue where Spider-Man loses his eyesight and he can't see. So Daredevil kind of teaches him to use his spider sense to get around. And they're fighting, was it the Magi? I don't think it was the Magi. They were fighting Hate Monger. I think it was Hate Monger. And that was an issue where they were together. And he had like a generic superhero personality. And then they were in The Death of Jean DeWolf together. And that's really, that was such a great storyline. One day I will talk about The Death of Jean DeWolf. But Daredevil and Spider-Man were together, and that's where Daredevil learned that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. But in this issue, you get a little rendition. You get, where is it? You get to hear Daredevil's thoughts on Spider-Man. Wait, someone's here. Impossibly quiet. The hand? No, there's a heartbeat. A strong one. I can almost hear his muscles tighten. Coiled with incredible strength and control. He's pure power and doesn't even know it. The best of us. Daredevil? And he's here, in my home. So it's Spider-Man showing up, and basically what Spider-Man's doing, and he's saying, hey, you're done. You can't. You've screwed up, and you've lost it. You lost your abilities as a hero. You know. I mean, granted, Spider-Man's accidentally killed someone too. He killed, I believe it was Wolverine's friend in Spider-Man vs. Wolverine, the issue where Ned Leeds dies. Which I don't know if they mentioned this here. Hold on a second. Yeah, no, Spider-Man admits that he does. It's horrible. I had to do a lot of soul searching after. I had to learn to be better at this, better at what we do. But what did you do next? You terrorized your neighborhood. You fist fight cops. And I just came from your latest sloppy fight where your buddies had to save your butt. So it's not just him saying you've accidentally killed somebody, but you're off the deep end. You're fighting with cops. You're doing all kinds of shit that's just not right in any way, and you're getting your butt kicked. Like, you're no longer competent enough to do this. You're gone. And what ends up happening is Daredevil agrees with him and gives him his mask, and Spider-Man walks off. He walks off without a word, too. Just a backwards glance. And it's good. Like, Chip Zdarsky, he's gotten much better as a writer since I've been reading him. And I like this last scene. So there's this little line of dialogue here, cast out the devil, and it's from a conversation he was having with a priest in this issue. But the art's very well. It got that shadow over the eye. I enjoyed the symbolism. I believe he's crying too. Oh, I didn't notice that before. Yeah, he's got some tears running down his face. And then here's Cloak and Dagger, now streaming. I haven't watched Cloak and Dagger, but I like them in the comic books. I have a few of their comics. They came out in a Spider-Man issue. It was issue 62 of Spectacular Spider-Man, I think, when they showed up, and I recall that being an issue that was it was when comics really started to get good. Like, I think it was the start of the 80s or the end of the 70s, but it just started. Comics started to get good, and that was a good issue. It was a good issue. But Daredevil, it's good. It's a good series. If you ain't getting it, you best get it. Anyway, please subscribe. Y'all take care. Bye.